What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, Nico, DJ Bootleg, whatever you want to call me. Today, I want to talk about a very interesting topic, a very controversial topic, as you see down below. Oh, and also, I've been saying up above, because for some reason I think the titles are up above. You know how they used to be, but then they changed it. So, whenever I say up above in my last videos, I meant down below. Anyway, it's about hybrids. Now, this has been in the hobby for longer than I've been in the hobby. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, what a hybrid is, obviously, but also what my stands are in hybrids and in African cichlids and peacocks and haps, the whole cichlid family, really, Cichlida family. But again, before I get into that, I want to break down what a hybrid is really quickly here. It's for the new people who don't know what it is, whether you might be in the hobby forever and you don't know what the hell a hybrid is. So, a hybrid is pretty much a mutt. In a nutshell, it's where you take one subspecies. I mean subspecies, because African cichlid is the main species, and then there's, you got your zebras, you got your, your rusties, Snow Whites, etc., etc. It goes on and on and on and on and on. But, okay, let's just say I take, a living stone, and, I go over there somewhere, and a venustus, both haps. Or haplochromis, I think it's called, they pronounce it. And they both breed. You got a male and female. Which one is female, it doesn't matter. They breed, that's going to be a hybrid. Now, a perfect example of this is a parrotfish, or a blood red parrot. Now, that's a hybrid. Now, I apologize, I guess I should have looked this up, but I know it's a severum and something else mixed. Now, if you look at a severum, it looks just like, you see the resemblance of a parrotfish. That's haploparrotfish. I forget what else is mated with. Put an annotation link on the screen if I find out. But, I mean, now this is my standpoint. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Chi-Town Cichlid, I believe it was 2 or 3 nights ago, and we got to talking about, we were talking on the phone for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, and we got to talking about hybrids. And for some reason, maybe it's just me, maybe I don't have my eyes open, but I've noticed a lot of videos and forum posts lately. Now again, this has been in the hobby for a very long time, but I've noticed more forum posts, a lot of videos about hybrids recently in the past, 6 months or recent, or more recent. So I want to throw my 2 cents in there. Now, a lot of people are in Chi-Town Cichlid agrees with me on this. A lot of people are just so set against hybrids. Like, I don't understand really what the big deal is. I can understand if, you're breeding them, or you're raising the fish, the cichlid or hap, whatever it is, and you're raising them to be a show fish. Like, you're actually gonna go and bring it to a show and try to win first place, or just like in I think it's Yukonuva or something. The dog shows, I believe that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have to be purebred. Okay, now some of the most amazing dogs, like my dad has a dog that I was watching for a little while. It's a mix between a pug and a let's talk about dog, Chihuahua. And she's amazing. She's like beautiful. Like, She's beautiful. She's a beautiful dog. It's a mixture of both. She has like the head of a. She has like the body of a Chihuahua and then like the face of a pug Chihuahua mix. It's amazingly cute. Now, let me make sure I'm still recording here. How much memory I have? Alright, 10 minutes. Cool. My bad, yo. Anyway, sorry to get off topic with the dogs, but that's just another thing. That's kind of part of the topic here. But I mean, you got people that get really, really angry when they buy a hybrid unknowingly. Now, the thing about buying, people say like, if you want to breed hybrids, that's fine. Just keep them to yourself. Don't trade them in at your LFS or give them away and all that stuff. Now, if you're into the hobby and you're so crazy about the purity and purebred and all that stuff, and you go into your LFS and you buy a hybrid without knowing, then maybe you need to do a little more research, and maybe you're not as professional as you think you were. If you can't spot a hybrid, like me, I can't spot a hybrid. It takes me a little while. I know some of the OBs are, a lot of the OBs are, but I mean honestly, there's a lot out there. I can't tell if it's a hybrid. I gotta ask. I gotta do research. But then again, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if I buy a hybrid. At the end of the day, I buy fish. Now, obviously, I'm not a hardcore hobbyist. I have 8 tanks and counting. But, I'm very into the hobby. I love my fish. I take care of them. It's more of an art to me than a hobby, but I call it a hobby just to sound normal, I guess. But I go to my LFS and I look at fish. I don't look at, what breed it is really. First thing that I look at is the beauty. In the coloration of them and all that stuff. And the only real reason why I ask what the breed is to see if they're aggressive or not, and then go with the other fish that I have. Other than that, I don't care. I guess the only other reason is to be able to say like, this is my Venustus, or this is my Livingstone, or whatever. But other than that, I don't care. I don't care if it was a mix between this fish and this fish. I don't really give a shit. I really don't. And if you're taking it to the point of... Now, of course, I've ran across this, where people, accidentally breed 2 fish, crossbreed, and they find out, they say, oh crap, he's accidentally bred. They actually euthanize them. Like, whether that be feed them as live food, flush them, just freeze them, because that's the more humane way, I guess. But I mean, come on, that's a little extreme. And if you're taking it to that point, then maybe you should only have one breed in the African cichlid tank. Okay, let me take another example here from the dogs. A professional breeder with dogs, do you think that they put a Labrador and a Poodle in one cage or in one room together? No, because they know there's a risk it's going to crossbreed. That's how you get the Labradoodle. And that's really the only crossbreed I know off the top of my head. But they don't do that. You know what they do? They separate them into 2 different cages or 2 different rooms. So, and that might sound a little extreme to have a bunch of different tanks with only one breed. But if you're taking it to the extreme of flushing them or freezing them, whatever, because they crossbred, that's a little extreme, don't you think? So, I mean, I need to get a big memory card. Anyway, I got 6 minutes left, so, to me, you get some of the most beautiful fish out of a hybrid. I have a parrotfish that's awesome. His personality is awesome. The coloration, he's a bright orange. He's young, he's about this big. I have other videos of him. But, then you got some of your OBs. Like a peacock OB. And an OB is what this is. that coloration right there. I mean, that looks awesome, doesn't it? And also, you know, you get the argument of that, let me make sure the camera's positioned right. Alright, and you get, and another thing where I come across is, or that I've heard of, whatever, is that, you know, it's unnatural for these two fish to breed. Now, honestly, do you really think that, okay, if you put two types of species in a tank and they breed, do you think they wouldn't have done that in the lakes and the rivers where they come from? Do you think that really doesn't happen? I mean, come on, let's be real here, dudes. I mean, now, I know this video is covering a lot of, if you watched other videos, hybrid videos and stuff, I'm covering some of the same topics. That's not me copying them or trying to get views because this is the big topic here. This is actually my opinion from doing research and just my opinion from my heart. I mean, for you to say that, you know, a zebra wouldn't mate with another Mabuna in Lake Malawi is just ridiculous, dude. If they're going to do it in your tank, they're going to do it in the river or the lakes. Okay? I mean, let's just be real here, guys. I mean, come on. If it's unnatural, then, I mean, it really wouldn't happen. You're not forcing the fish to do it. They do it because they want to. And they do it because they're comfortable in your tank. If anything, it's a good thing. Okay? If your fish are breeding, especially crossbreeding, you have really good water parameters and they're very comfortable in your tank. That's something to be proud of. And I mean, again, I mean, some of the most beautiful fish are hybrids, man. I personally don't like flower horns with the big heads. I don't really like that, but a lot of people do. That's a very popular fish. That's a hybrid. But, I mean, you know, I mean, if you don't want to do hybrids, then don't do it. I'm not saying to euthanize them. It's hard to say that word. But maybe give it to your friend or an LFS or something. You know, I mean, and just let them know, hey, this is a hybrid. You know, maybe get a store credit for it. I don't know. So, it's not that serious, man. It's really not. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you're not a true hobbyist, or blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I really don't care. I do this because I love the fish, and I like to have them in my house. I like to work on them. I like the way they look. So, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me a weekend aquaticer, or whatever. I don't really care. I had beautiful fish, and that's all that matters. So, whether the hybrids or not, I don't really give a shit. So, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Make sure you leave a comment if you have the time on what your thoughts are of this. If you're with it, if you're against it, I don't care. Let me know. I want to know your opinion and why. If you have any hybrids, let me know what they are. Maybe you have a video, let me know. Also, I'm only a few videos away from doing the plant giveaway, so be on the lookout for that when I reach 200. The actual 200th video is going to be about plant giveaways, okay? So, anyway guys, stay wet, God bless, thank you for watching, subscribe if you want, like, comment, peace out y'all.